Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss a new poem, The Ball Poem. This poem written by the poet John Berryman. He was an American poet and scholar. He is best known for the Dream Songs, year 1969, which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prize for the Dream Songs. He also won National Book Award. Let's know some more details about this poet. He was born on 25th October in the year 1914. He died on 7th January 1972. He was an American poet and scholar born in McAlester, Oklahoma. He was a major figure in American poetry in the second half of 20th century, and he is considered a key figure in his confessional school of poetry. His best known work is The Dream Songs, that is published in the year 1969. Some more details about this poet. His alma mater of Columbia University, a National Book Award, Pulitzer Prize for Poetry, Bowling Prize, very famous poet. The objective of this poem, through learning this poem, through studying this poem, students, you can learn about the loss of something you love and make the students learn to develop the ability to understand the difficult situation in their life, to help the student not to grieve but to experience new things over the loss of something, to help the students cope with the problems of life. And this poem help the students use new words. Through this you can understand new words. You can use their words in your daily conversation. Rigid. The meaning of the word rigid, stiff. Iron pipes are usually rigid in nature. They cannot be twisted easily. Next word, harbor. Harbor, an area of water near the coast where ships are kept and are safe from the sea. This is a harbor where ships rest. Dime, 10 cents. United States, it is used in the United States. The newspaper cost 10 dimes. Desperate, meaning of the word hopeless. This man looks desperate because of his personal worries. Epistemology of loss. The meaning of the word epistemology of loss, understanding the nature of loss. It seems the lady understands the epistemology of loss. She looks grieved. Before we proceed, everyone possesses something and lose it. Why then we become so upset over losing something? Isn't it possible to buy another thing and be happy after losing something? Here a boy loses a ball. He is very upset. A ball does not cost much, nor it is difficult to buy another ball. Why then is the boy so upset? Let's read this poem to see what the poet thinks has been lost, and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. The Ball Poem. Through this poem, the poet has described the reality of life, which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries, sorrows of life. I'll read these poetic lines. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. Time another ball is worthless. He senses first person responsibility in a world of possessions. People will take balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Some key points of this poem. The little boy has lost his ball. He can buy many new balls, but he has very deep emotional attachment and memories associated with the ball. So he regrets over the loss of the ball. The poet is indirectly trying to tell us that we should learn how to cope up with the loss. And money is external, that is, we can't buy memories with money. We all should learn our responsibility and learn to cope up with the loss. This poem, let me tell you that summary in detail. This poem by John Berryman is about losing something that you love and learning to grow up. It is about a little boy who for the first time in his young life is learning what it's like to experience grief at the loss of a much beloved possession, his ball. To us, the loss of ball is of minor consequence, and our reaction to it is to say, oh, there are other balls. But to a little boy, that is not so. A dime, another ball is worthless. Money is external. It cannot buy back our love, nor replace the things that we love, the things that really matter. In this poem, the boy's ball personify his young days and happy innocence. In this world, the people will take balls just as they will take away our innocence and force us to grow up. And once we lose the innocence, we can never get it back. Balls will be lost always. Little boy, no one buys a ball back. This poem goes to show how all throughout your life you will be forced to do things that you don't want to do. And you will lose and how to give up the things that you love. But despite this, you have to learn to stand up and to be strong and get on with your life, no matter how much it hurts inside. Because that is the only way you will survive. You have to learn to accept and let go, not cling on to something that you can never have. The poet uses imagery when describing how the ball personifies the spirit of the boy's childish innocence. In the last 5 lines, we visualize how the spirit of this little boy, like the ball, is sinking into the dark waters of the harbor. As it drifts further away, the boy learns to grow up, and the part of him that is linked to the ball grows up as well, and it is no longer a little boy. This poem consists of only one stanza. There is No rhyming, but the poet instead conveys his meaning through the rhyme, rhythm, the tone, and his use of words. For example, in these lines, I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. The short, brisk, happy words allow you to visualize a ball bouncing along. In the lines, an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. The words and rhythm is tragic, dramatic, and harsh, which is suitable for the situation. Similar uses of tone and rhythm help add to effect of the poem and help emphasize the meaning. So this is the thing. This is the information about all the words, the lines of this poem. Really, this poet, through this poem, is talking about a little boy who has lost his ball. He was playing with his ball. The ball skipped from his hand and went into the nearby water body. The poet says that the sight of the boy losing his favorite ball made him think about the boy and his reaction to this situation. He further says that the boy was helplessly looking into the water where his ball had gone. He was sad and was trembling with fear. He got so immersed in his sorrow that he kept standing near the harbor for a very long time and kept on looking for his ball. The poet says that he could console him that he may get new balls, and he would also give him some money to buy another ball. But he stops himself from doing so because he thinks that money may bring new ball but will not bring the memories and the feelings attached to the lost ball. He further says that the time has come for the boy to learn his responsibility, where the poet wants to say that now the boy will learn the toughest lesson of life, the lesson of accepting harsh realities of life, that one day we will lose our loved ones and our loved things. And if you look at these lines, merrily bouncing down the street, merrily over. In this stanza, particularly, this poet talking about a boy who has lost his ball. He wants to know about him and his reaction because he has lost his ball. He asked himself that what does the boy will do after losing the ball. The poet has seen the ball going away from the boy. He says that the ball was cheerfully jumping up and down in the street. This means that when the ball skipped from the boy's hand, it went into the street, and later on it fell into the nearby river. Grief, the word it is given here, meaning of the word sorrow, rigid, fixed, trembling, shaking, harbor, port, intrude, invader, worthless, valueless. The poet says that there is no benefit or consoling the boy by saying that he will get another ball because he has other balls too. He says so because the boy is feeling very sad. He is completely surrounded by sorrow. He is sad because all the memories of the childhood days went down the harbor with the ball. Here the poet says that the boy is very sad as the ball which has now gone into the water reminds him of those sweet memories of the times when he owned it. This loss is unbreakable, unbearable for him. He is grief stricken. The poet says that he can't even tell the boy to take some money from him in order to buy another ball. He says so because the new ball will not bring the sense of belonging to the boy. Further, the poet says that the time has come for the boy to learn the responsibility of taking care of his things. Here the poet says that the boy has to learn that in this materialistic world, many of his belongings will be lost. He personifies the ball as his belongings, be it the worldly things or the relationships, or he is in possession of. So he says that he has to learn to live. Without them, no matter what. He says no one can buy back such things for him. The poet said so because according to him, money can't buy you everything. If it does buy you some materialistic thing, still it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness. He says that the boy is learning how to stand up against the sense of lost things. This means that the boy is trying to learn the real truth of life, which states that you have to accept the miseries of life and stand up again. This is the truth which everyone has to learn in his or her life. The harsh truth of standing up against the hard miseries of life that everyone has to bear. Let's discuss some questions from this poem. First question: What message does John Berryman want to convey through this poem? The message that the poet wants to convey is the importance of loss and responsibility in life. We should not forget the importance of possessions. How does the boy feel at the loss of his ball? The boy is very much troubled at the loss of his ball. His ball falls in water. He is much upset as he has a long association with the ball. Money is external. What does the poet mean by this expression? He makes the boy understand about his responsibility, as the loss is immaterial. He can purchase another ball. He explained that the world is full of possessions and money is an external item. Why does the poet say, I would not intrude on him? Why does not he offer him money to buy another ball? The poet wants the boy to experience the loss. He should learn that it is the part of life. That's why the poet does not want to interfere the boy and does not want to offer him money to buy another ball. Staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went, do you think the boy has had the ball for a long time? Is it linked to the memories of days when he played with it? Yes. The boy has had the ball for a long time, that is, since his childhood. Yes, it is linked with memories of days when he played with it. What does in the world of possessions mean? In the world of possessions means people like to possess all sort of things in the world. Money is external because it can buy only material objects. It cannot buy everything that one loses. Do you think the boy has lost anything earlier? Pick out the words that suggest the answer. No. The boy has not lost anything earlier. The words he senses first responsibility suggest the answer. What does the poet say? The boy is learning from the loss of the ball. Try to explain this in your own words. The poet says that the boy is learning to cope up with the loss of the ball. He is experiencing grief and learning to grow up in this world of possessions. He learns that there are so many things in life that are to be lost and cannot be brought back. It is useless to feel sorrow for it. Next question. Have you ever lost something you liked very much? Write a paragraph describing how much you felt then and saying whether and how you got over your loss. Students should write the answer of this question in your own words. Write and you can try giving answer properly. My dear students, we have learned this poem and meaning of this poem, and we have discussed a few question answers. My dear students, you read this poem again and again and you get meaning. Really you will get deeper meaning when you read again and again. I'll read this poem again for you. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. Time, another ball is worthless. He senses the first responsibility in a world of possessions. People will take balls will be lost always. Little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning very behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. My dear students, let's revise the difficult words and the key points. Some difficult words we have discussed. Rigid. The meaning of the word stiff. Iron pipes are usually rigid in nature. They cannot be twisted easily. Harbor, an area of water near the coast where ships are kept and are safe from the sea. This is a harbor where ships rest. Dime, 10 cents. That is used in United States. Newspaper cost 10 dimes. Desperate, the meaning of the word hopeless. This man looks desperate because of his personal worries. Epistemology of loss. Epistemology of loss is understanding the nature of loss. It seems the lady understands the epistemology of loss. She looks grieved. Let's revise the key points of this poem. The little boy has lost his ball. He can buy many new balls, but he has very deep emotional attachment and memories associated with that ball, so he regrets over the loss of the ball. The poet is indirectly trying to tell us that we should learn how to cope up with the loss. And money is external, that is, we can't buy memories with money. We all should learn our responsibility and learn to cope up with the loss. This poem by John Berryman is about losing something that you love and learning to grow up. It is about a little boy who for the first time in his young life is learning what it is like to experience grief at the loss of much beloved possession, his ball. To us, the loss of a ball is of minor consequence, and our reaction to it is to say, oh, there are other balls. But to a little boy, this is not so. Time, another ball is worthless. Money is external. It cannot buy back our love, nor replace the things that we love, the things that really matter. In this poem, the boy's ball personifies young days and happy innocence. In this world, people will take balls just as they will take away our innocence and force us to grow up. And once we lose the innocence, we can never get it back. Balls will be lost always. Little boy, and no one buys a ball back. This poem goes to show how all throughout your life and you will be forced to do things that you don't want to do, and you will lose or have to give up the things that you love. But despite this, you have to learn to stand up, to be strong and get on with your life, no matter how much it hurts inside, because that is the only way you will survive, and you have to learn to accept and let go, and no cling on to something that you can never have. The poet uses imagery when describing how the ball personifies the spirit of the boy's childish innocence. In the last 5 lines, we visualize how the spirit of this little boy, like the ball, is sinking into the water, the dark waters of the harbor. As it drifts further away, the boy learns to grow up, and that part of him that is linked to that ball grows up as well until it is no longer a little boy. This poem consists of only one stanza, there is no rhyming, but the poet instead conveys his meaning through the rhyme, the tone, and his use of words. For example, in these lines, I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over the short, brisk, happy words allow you to visualize a ball bouncing along. These lines, an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. The words and rhyme is tragic, dramatic, and hoarse, which is suitable for the situation. Similar use of tones and rhythm help add to the effect of the poem and help emphasize the meaning. My dear students, read this poem again and again, and read these question answers and write test, and you create some questions from this poem. You start to write on your own. Read this poem again and again, get deeper meaning, and enjoy the poem. If you have any doubt in it, you can share your doubt. It will be clarified. Thank you so much, my dear students. Thank you so much.